The mansion was quiet, almost too quiet, except for the faint hum of machinery that ran behind its walls. On the edge of the galaxy, Captain Ryland had finally settled on a rare and unusual decision. He had hired an alien maid. Her name was Lyra, and she belonged to the Luminari, a species known for their glowing eyes and expressive antennae. Lyra was meticulous, polite, and eerily precise, moving around the vast mansion as if she had been built to serve it. Ryland didn't trust many beings outside his crew, but something about Lyra's calm demeanor had eased his mind. That was until the day he decided to practice something unusual, something no being, human or alien, had ever seen him do before. It started in the grand atrium, where sunlight spilled through towering glass panels. Ryland had set up a series of holographic screens, each displaying alien artifacts, rare crystals, and ancient star maps. He wasn't supposed to be working. It was late afternoon, a time when he usually relaxed. But today was different. Today, he was preparing something only he could understand, a secret technique he had developed for manipulating gravitational fields. As he floated slightly above the floor, adjusting the controls with precise finger movements, a soft voice spoke behind him. "Captain. I didn't expect this," Lyra stammered, her antennae trembling slightly. Ryland froze midair, not because he feared her watching, but because the sight of her shock was exactly what he had wanted. Lyra's eyes widened. Her glowing pupils flickered rapidly, a sign of astonishment in Luminari culture. Are you really doing this?" she asked, her voice a mixture of disbelief and curiosity. Ryland smirked, his hands still hovering over the controls. "Yes. I've been working on this for months. I didn't expect anyone else to see it so soon." Lyra took a careful step forward, her limbs moving with the grace of a predator, though clearly unsure of what she was witnessing. "But this is dangerous, isn't it? You could destabilize the entire mansion's gravity." Ryland shook his head. "Only if I make a mistake. Which, of course, I won't." Her antennae lowered slightly, a gesture of nervous respect. "Humans, you're reckless in ways we cannot comprehend." That made Ryland chuckle. Lyra didn't know the half of it. He had risked everything in his career, but this was personal. He wanted to push the boundaries of what a human could do in an alien environment. And now, for the first time, someone else was witnessing it. He activated another control, and the holographic screens floated around him, spinning in precise arcs. Objects from different planets hovered in midair, a shard of Virelian crystal, a fragment of a Zenaran star chart, even a small, pulsating rock from a moon of Orinthia. Each piece moved in perfect harmony, as if the mansion itself obeyed his will. Lyra stepped closer, unable to tear her eyes away. "Captain, how do you control all of this?" Ryland's smirk softened. "It's all about focus, timing, and understanding the gravitational pull of each object. But it's also about imagination. The mind has more power than most realize." Lyra's glowing eyes blinked rapidly. She had studied many civilizations, observed countless species, but never had she seen something like this. I thought humans were simple, limited beings," she whispered. "Some of us are," Ryland replied lightly, "but not all. And not me." For a moment, Lyra simply floated there, staring at him, unsure whether to speak or to run. Finally, she whispered, I should not have walked in." Ryland floated toward her, lowering the gravity slightly around them so that he hovered at her level. "No, I'm glad you did. Most beings never get to witness something extraordinary. You did." Lyra's antennae twitched nervously. "Extraordinary, yes, but frightening. Humans, you always take risks. And you aliens are too careful sometimes," Ryland said with a teasing grin. "Balance is everything. Careless enough to do something bold, careful enough not to fail." She took a small step back, trying to regain her composure. I don't know whether to serve you, or observe you." "Why not both?" Ryland asked, his grin widening. He waved a hand, and a tiny moon fragment floated toward Lyra. "Here, try this." "Don't worry, it's harmless." Lyra hesitated, her antennae quivering, but finally reached out. The fragment hovered above her palm, weightless yet strangely tangible. Her eyes widened in astonishment. It obeys me. Not you, Rylan said, me. But your mind is attuned enough to sense it. That's the trick. Lyra's pupils flickered faster, excitement replacing her initial shock. I never imagined humans could, this. Rylan laughed softly, floating backward. Most people don't. They stick to what they know. But the universe, it's bigger than all of us. Bigger than rules, bigger than fear. Lyra nodded slowly, trying to comprehend the scope of what she had just seen. You are unlike any human I have ever encountered. And you, Rylan said, are unlike any alien I have ever met. That's why I hired you. The silence that followed was not awkward, it was charged, like a quiet before a storm. Lyra finally broke it. Captain, will you teach me? Rylan's eyes sparkled. If you're ready to take the risk, yes. But remember, the moment you cross this line, nothing will ever be ordinary again. She hesitated, then nodded. I want to learn. Even if it terrifies me. And in that moment, an unspoken bond formed between the human and the alien. Not master and servant, not teacher and student, but two explorers daring to touch the impossible. Rylan floated down, the holograms fading into the air with a soft hiss. Good. We start tomorrow. But tonight, you rest. Even extraordinary minds need sleep. Lyra inclined her head, finally allowing herself to smile. It was small, cautious, but real. I will. But Captain. Yes? You surprised me today. In ways I cannot forget. Rylan chuckled softly. Then consider that your first lesson. The universe always surprises. As Lyra moved to her quarters, her mind raced. She had been a maid, an observer of a human's domestic life. But now, she was witness to something far greater. She didn't fully understand the gravity manipulation, the floating artifacts, or the risks involved, but she knew one thing: her life would never be simple again. And that, she realized with a mix of fear and thrill, was exactly what she wanted.